Could your need to fix actually be getting in the way of really helping and supporting people? I believe there's two mistakes we make. The first one is that we come from a place of we desperately want to help. So we see somebody that's struggling, they may have reached out and told us what they're struggling with, and we instantly want to pull them back to a good place. We don't want them to be where they are, where they're struggling. And that can mean that we're pulling them. And the second one is we struggle with other people's darkness. So when somebody tells us how they're feeling, if it's hard for us to hear and hard for us to take, our natural reaction is to want to pull them away. We want to change the atmosphere and the energy that's being brought to us. We want to change that ourselves. And so we instantly drag. We start talking about positive things and coming at people with all the reasons why they shouldn't be feeling like they're feeling. And actually, that can be really detrimental to somebody that's just reaching out to be heard. This is an important thing to recognize when we're trying to help people, and it's a vital part of listening. Often in my times of struggle, when I reached out to somebody and I spoke, I didn't want fixing. I didn't want someone to drag me out from where I was. I wanted to be heard. And when you make people feel heard, that's how you empower them. With mental health and well-being and the ways that we feel and all the struggles that may come with that, I think empowerment needs to be at the heart of how we help people. Empowerment is something that's brought about by giving people the space to get curious about the ways that they feel and search for their own solutions. Now, we can do this with questions. We can do this by asking people the right things, rather than telling them what they need to do. In doing this, what you do is you help people lead themselves to some kind of recovery and some kind of healing. And when you do that, you'll get lasting change rather than some kind of impact that you've brought about yourself to make yourself feel better. And I think this happens on a big scale in mental health in general. Lots of us are doing this. We see people struggling and we want them better. And we also don't want, and this is hard to admit to ourselves, but we also don't want our lives to be tainted or brought down by other people's struggles. So we want to get them back to where we feel they should be quickly. And we all do this as good people, and I'm just as guilty. It's very, very hard. Think on a basic level when, for example, if one of my children's struggling with something and they start crying, my instant reaction is to say, come on, don't cry, everything's all right. When the reality is I need to allow them to begin to regulate that themselves. I believe the best way to do this is questions. Powerful questions are a great way, and something that I use within my coaching to try and get people to investigate themselves. And another thing that I often use with my children is explain how it's making me feel. So I will let my children know that I'm struggling with what they're telling me. I will tell them the physical sensations that it's given me, the worry that it's given me in my chest, or the concern. And then that will help validate the ways that they're feeling and allow them a space to explore it themselves too. I believe listening as a natural ability is something that we're losing the art of, and something that we need to get back to. Everybody's going on about how people should talk more, but we need to change as a society and become ready to listen. Another key point is to make sure you do not make helping somebody a results business. Because we are led by wanting to fix people and wanting to get them better, we will often try and wrap a conversation up and finish a conversation with this need for validation that what we've done has helped them. And sometimes the people you help the most are the ones you will never find out about. People that had a good influence on my life, especially when I was growing up, probably still today have no idea, because they would have asked the questions, they would have created a space for me, and though I didn't find it in me to let them know that they had, or to open up, or to articulate, or to even speak in any way to them, I would go away and have the conversations with myself, and in some ways feel slightly empowered, and often empowered on larger scales. So don't make it a results business. It can't be a results business. You need to understand that if you've created that space and you've created a moment, then you would have created an experience in someone. And when you create an experience in someone, you give them opportunities to be architects of their own change. Don't let your need to fix get in the way of really helping and supporting someone.